Hi, I'm James. Welcome to the demo of integration between Oracle Utilities Customer to Meter and Oracle Utilities Network Management System. This presentation runs on Customer Cloud Service, the cloud version of Customer to Meter. This integration covers the following: customer synchronization, submitting in real-time trouble calls to multiple instances of Oracle Utilities Network Management System, and a consolidated view where we can query the outage information such as job history, outage trouble calls, and outages from multiple instances of NMS. Let's begin with customer data synchronization. This integration will be triggered in Oracle Utilities Customer Cloud Service whenever one of the following entities is created or updated: a customer or an account, a service point or service agreement, a premise, a device, or an item. A service will capture any changes on these entities and will create an outbound message. When a batch process runs, the message will be queued for the integration layer to pick it. Then it will get transformed into a proper format for NMS. It will be verified and inserted into staging tables. Finally, a batch process will run on NMS and update the main tables. Let's go into more detail. For this demo, we have already created a person by the name Glenn Wharton, an account, and a premise at 1490 Lake Harbor, Westlake Village. The service point is related to the distribution network facility in Cleveland Avenue. We have also created a service agreement, a device configuration, and a measuring component. Once the service agreement is activated, a SYN request will be created containing all the information related to the account. The message will be in status pending. Now it's time to run the batch job F1 SYN request to send the record to the integration layer. We will set the business object to match with NMS customer SYN request and press duplicated queue to run the batch. When the job has finished, we can see that the SYN request is now synchronized. You can log into SOA and explore the request from CCS to NMS. Here we have the last message for customer SYN captured by SOA. Inside this instance, we can explore the content of the message sent to NMS. The data of Glenn Wharton is right here. Now let's open the network management system. The account is already in the staging tables in NMS. After a batch process runs, we will see the customer is listed under the device. Right here is Glenn Wharton. This means that the customer synchronization between CCS and NMS is successful. Next is the trouble call integration. When we submit trouble calls in CCS, we can choose to report the outage calls with premise or without. Either way, after filling out the form, an outbound message will be created. The integration layer will receive the request, transform it, validate it, and execute the store procedure in NMS. The data will then arrive to staging tables. After running a batch job, we will get the trouble called event visible in NMS. Let's see how to create an outage call from CCS. First, we will create a trouble call without premise. For this, we will fill out all the detail for the outage. Let's say the transformer is on fire and set a reference ID to track the event. We will set the type of outage as partially out. When we save this form, a message will be sent to NMS. Now, the outage record has been properly created in CCS. We can explore the content of the message in SOA. Let's dive into the last message of the trouble calls. Again, we can view the message sent to NMS. Here we have the trouble call details. In NMS, we can see a new event at the top. It is a fuzzy outage since we did not provide a premise. Let's see the details of the outage call. Here we have the report made by Jolene Cooper, and at the bottom we will find additional remarks. Now let's create another outage call, but this time we will choose to report it with a premise. In this case, we just need to search for a premise and all the contact information will be loaded. After it loads, we just need to fill the other details. In this example, we will say that there are some tree branches tangled in power lines. We will set the reference ID to track the outage event. Again, we will set this outage type as partially out, and when saved, a message will be created for NMS. In NMS, we will see the new outage event at the top. We can double-click the event to see more information. On the Trouble Info tab, we can see the details of the report made by Tessa Turner. And at the bottom, we will find the remarks of the outage. Finally, let's review how to query outage information from NMS in CCS. This is a real-time interface, and it allows CCS to retrieve information from multiple NMS instances. It will route the request based on the CIS division, which is related to the premise used as a parameter of the search. For all of the queries, the integration flow is the same. The message will get transformed into NMS format, it will be validated, and the integration layer will execute the stored procedures in NMS to retrieve back to CCS the proper data. Let's dive into CCS one more time to see the new consolidated view. The new outage information module is located in the communication section. We will start by retrieving the job history of the trouble calls reported to NMS. We can use whichever field we prefer to search. I will use the call reference ID that was set in the report to search for fuzzy outage calls. This data comes from NMS. Let's review the message in SOA. At the top, we find the request capture for the job history query. Inside the instance, we can find the same data that is displayed on CCS. This was retrieved from NMS in real time. Now, let's explore the call history query. This time we will search by the customer name Glenn Wharton. We are getting all the outage calls reported by him. This information is also retrieved from NMS in real time. And last, we have this option to look for planned outages created on NMS. For example, if we type the service point linked to Glenn Wharton's premise, the integration will use the CIS division to query the specific instance of NMS where his information is stored and will retrieve any planned outages that will affect him, such as this one that is scheduled. And that concludes the demonstration of C2M NMS integration. Thank you for watching.